So when you use FloTorch, even the code looks same, right? Or similar. Behind the scene, what's happening? Okay. So let's look at a typical LLM application, right? You have a business application, let's say a chatbot. You have a nice window UI browser-based application or a Streamlit application. You type in your query, right? What happens? That's your business application. What happens is that behind the scene, it is actually calling a GenAI application. What is that? So you will have to call some specific LLM from Meta, from Mistral, from Google, from OpenAI, from any of these providers, right? There are so many of them, and they all have some models that are provided by each of them that is good in certain things. But your question is, well, which is the best model I can have for the lowest cost and lowest latency, right? That's the question you have, and the most highest accuracy, right? So you will need to consider putting guardrails in place as an add-on, right? Because these are not provided by default by your LLM provider, right? So LLM providers will give you response for the given query, but you need to also check your query before you send it to the LLM and check the response of LLM before you send it back to the business application. So you will notice that if you add that, you will have a lot of add-ons on top of the LLM service that you're using. In terms of observability, you need to add it separately. How do I do caching so that certain queries that are commonly asked, right? What is the capital of this country? If that query is commonly asked, you don't want to go to LLM and answer that question with a delay, latency, as well as cost. You might just want to cache that question and answer, right? So those are available add-ons that you can buy or set up yourself. You can also talk, we are going to talk about model routing down the road. But these are different add-ons that you'll consider. You'll notice that while LLM providers are usually kind of third party in a different environment, in your environment, you'll still need to maintain that cache, right? Because it's your data and it needs to be maintained for you. If that is the application that you're building and then you're sending the response back, it's a lot of work and a lot of consideration. That's one of the challenges that GenAI builders have, that how do I take care of all these different uh, kind of aspects of GenAI application, right? So there is an easier way with FloTorch, right? You saw the code, it looks pretty similar, but what's happening behind the scene, right? For that same business application that you're sending the query from, say, chatbot, okay, within your environment, like I said, on your premise, you can have FloTorch Gateway that is hosted. And the advantage is, if that is the case, you will actually be able to have every request will go through the gateway, which means you'll have observability, governance, and security. And FloTorch model is essentially a wrapper. We are going to do a deep dive on FloTorch model today, but it comes built in with input output guardrails, model routing, and caching, right?